All praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, the bonus to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the occupants out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video, sort of a quick video, on this being one of the most important scriptures. Now, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, as Second Timothy chapter 3 verse 16 says. So all scriptures are important, but the reason I say this scripture here is really important. Upon looking at these news articles and all these events happening, the increase the thing that everybody's talking about is the gas prices, and just like I said, just everything in general pretty much just going up. There are certain scriptures that you need beginning your I guess your so-called journey, right? Like for example, we had somebody come up last week and say, well, what is it that I need to do to actually become an Israelite, right? And besides being born one, all right? Because like the elder Manat Zapba went into not too long ago, as he mentioned in the video, the Hebrew Israelite thing is sort of a religion, all right? It pretty much is, because you have one that's you're born as an Israelite, but you can still be considered a heathen, all right? But when you're actually in it, then yeah, you're technically in a religion. It just goes to worship. That's all it means, all right? Now, you have certain scriptures that it's a key to unlocking your way into the truth, right? So like I said, it's going to be a quick video. Luke chapter 21 verse 36. Watch ye therefore, pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Right? There are levels to this thing, right? There are levels to this thing. You can't come into the truth and think that you have just all the breakdowns, because we're still learning too. You can't just come into the truth and directly jump to a scripture like Revelation 13 or Daniel 12 without getting a correct breakdown. But before all that, before you get to all those breakdowns, you have to make sure you're reading scriptures to guide you through. Like when you first come into this thing, you first come into this to the truth, you start yourself off slow, right? Start yourself off slow with scriptures like this. This is literally one of the first scriptures that I was assigned to learn. All right. This one, 2 Peter 3:9, right? And certain other scriptures that I was assigned to learn. I was assigned to learn certain prayers. Before I got to anything else, I was assigned certain things. All right. Certain things were assigned to me to learn, as well as other brothers too. You can't just come into this and think you just got infinite amount of knowledge, right? So this is why I say there are levels to this thing. Every scripture, like I said, all scriptures is given by inspiration of the Most High. But there are certain things that you are just not ready for, right? Like when the truth first came out, just to prove this, when the truth first came out, how come certain things are being revealed right now that wasn't revealed before? It's because we weren't ready for it. The elders and apostles weren't ready for it at that time. Now, things have been opened up. Knowledge is increasing. So we have even more detailed breakdowns on certain things that we may have gotten wrong, or that may have, kind of changed, or something like that. Now, I don't want to say really changed, but just going deeper into the breakdowns, right? Because like I said, knowledge has increased, right? I want to get another one, if I remember correctly. This is another one that was assigned to me. I think it was Isaiah 28 and 9. Yep. Yeah, 28:9. Isaiah 28:9. It says, "Whom shall he teach in knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Uh, for precept must be." Now this sounds like being born again. Being as a little child, pretty much being as an infant. You know what I mean? You going back to this is why we always say milk scriptures and meat scriptures. You know what I mean? You got to learn the milk before you get to the meat scriptures. It's just like an infant before they grow their teeth. So you come into this thing, you have to really be as though you have no teeth at all, which means you got no voice, you got nothing. Just listen, obtain knowledge. If you have questions, yes, absolutely, please ask. But uh, learn, listen, and just watch videos. Just listen. You know, that's all you have to do is listen and study. That's all you have to do. Relax. All right. That's another thing. You know, Jake, when they first come in, they're all of us. We are fired up. We're fired up. We want to know everything. You can't do that. Number one, you're going to burn yourself out. We've had several people do that. You're going to burn yourself out. Don't do that. We had people. We had Jake in the truth as Great Millstone specifically said. They studied like almost like 7 days a week. I'm talking about like not studied 7 days a week as in you study for like an hour or two, maybe even three. No, not like that. This is like next level stuff. Next level stuff. Just all day, every day, all day, every day. And what happened? They're gone. They're back. We don't know where they at. They could be in a grave for all we know. Right? We don't know where they are because they're all gone back into the world like they've never even been here. Right? I'm talking about all day, every day, studying, asking each other questions and stuff like that, all day and every day. And it's just like, relax a little bit. You still gotta live. You go to work, get your daily bread, come back. You want to study, like I said, hour or two. If you do decide to do that every day, that's on you. Because we pretty much study every day as well, especially doing these videos. We do videos daily, but they're overly doing it, for like I said, you want to study for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, hell, whatever you want to do it. Just relax. And this is for the new, the newer Jake, man, the newer bros, man. Just relax. Let the knowledge come to you. Don't force it. Just relax a little bit. You got Jake that been in this thing for some years now and still trying to force things. Still trying to force answers. Still, doing things as if they just came in. So all of us need these reminders. So this is not just only for the new bros. This is just for all of us in general. But it seems like all of us need reminders sometimes is to just fall back a little bit and just relax. Fall back a little bit and relax. You don't need all the accolades. You don't need all the spotlight. Just relax a little bit. This does not have to be as stressful as you're making it. It's bad enough that we have to deal with stress in the world, stress with our own women, pretty much, stress with other men, Jake in the world or whoever else, Edomites or whatever stress is coming your way. Not even just from people. Whatever stress you're dealing with, it's bad enough we already got to deal with that. Don't make things that much harder on yourself, man. Sometimes I hear Jake say, yeah, the truth is hard this, is hard that. Sure, it's naturally going to be a little difficult, right? It's going to be difficult. But when I hear certain Jake's situation, when I hear certain brothers' situations, right? And it's just like, well, you made it hard on yourself. You did this to yourself, right? Anyway, Isaiah 28:10. It says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Okay. This is pretty much breaking down how you read the Bible. You can't read the Bible like one unless you're reading a story, on one of the stories that are in the Bible. then yeah, you can read that like a storybook. But the Bible itself, you know, we hear people say, yeah, well, we read the Bible front to back 100 times. Yeah, so did we. But not like how you read it. No, we go into breakdowns. We break down these stories, and we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We don't go from beginning to end and this, that, and the other. No, we are everywhere, right? For, you know, so yeah, we read the Bible, the whole thing too. That doesn't mean anything. You got these old Christians that say they read the Bible front to back 5 times over and still can't break down Genesis 1:1 the correct way. You know what I mean? The first book of the Bible, or claim to be the first book of the Bible, in the first verse, the first chapter, the very first thing you open up, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. You can't break that down because you got to go into words. All right? That's another way how you read the Bible. You can't just read it outright and just say, hey, yo, well, yeah, that's what it means. The 7 heads and 10 horns in the book of Revelation. What are they? Right? A lot of people still have a problem with the mark of the beast. Well, what is that? Because you got to look, you have to look look up the words to lock you. You have to look up the words, man. You got to do extensive research. You can't just stay in the Bible and just say, yeah, I read it. Nope. Go into the words. That's exactly how we silence a lot of people, man, that come up to us. Not really just silence them, but educate them. You know what I mean? Educate them a little bit, because we all needed it. I would like somebody to educate me on something that I don't know. So when they come up, even if they're a little rowdy, we try to educate them, you know, because we would want the same thing. You're more likely looking for an answer, unless you're just being. See, we can tell when you're being rebellious, you know, we can tell when you're just being, you know, just a demon, right? But we would like to know an answer too, right? So the main point of this video is just it's Luke 21:36 is a key, right? It's a key to unlocking that door. It tells you to watch and pray. That's why I say this is literally one of the most important scriptures. Whatever starter scriptures that you have. That's why we always say the milk scriptures, honestly, are the most important ones that Jake should really stick with, instead of trying to go way too deep in the deep waters. No, the basic milk scriptures are the best ones. If you're just trying to, you know, get a prayer out or something like that, those milk scriptures are like the best ones to go to. The book of Proverbs, full of milk scriptures, full of prayers, full of all that, man. Right? Easy, simple, easy to understand. But I say that, you know, that easy to understand part. Let's see, I want to put quotations on that, because it's not always easy. But see, what may seem simple to us might not be simple to other people, because that spirit. That's why I say this is one of the most important scriptures to start off with. Before you get to anything else, you gotta pray that the spirit of the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is on you to get this understanding. That's why I say this one is one of my favorites, and is one of the most important ones, because it tells you to watch. It tells you to watch and pray always. Watch and pray always. Prayer is the key. You have to pray, man. If you don't got that, you ain't got the spirit of the Lord on you, man. You ain't gonna get it. You're not gonna get the spirit of the Lord on you. So this is a literal key. This one scripture here is a literal key. All right. So on that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Shalom.